Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about what's going on with Aston Martin following their start to 2026 testing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram and X at James's Pit Lane. I'll leave links in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. Now, it's not been an ideal start to 2026 for Aston Martin. I mean, it's been a very anticipated car, given it's the first designed by Formula 1 design legend Adrian Newey. However, the team were late to the first Barcelona shakedown. But after completing limited running in Barcelona, Aston Martin were expected to recover the mileage during Bahrain testing. However, on the first day of the opening Bahrain test, Lance Stroll completed just 36 laps, although only 3 of those were added after the lunch break, as a result of engine partner Honda detecting a data anomaly that it said required further analysis. Now, the good news for Aston Martin is that on day 2 of testing in Bahrain, Fernando Alonso was able to complete a lot more mileage in that Aston Martin. But one thing to note is that both Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso's best times were so far off the pace. I mean, on day 1, Lance Stroll was over 5 seconds down on the fastest time, and on day 2 Fernando Alonso was around 4 seconds down on the fastest time. So yeah, very slow times from Aston Martin. And of course, at this point in testing, with it being brand new regulations, the point of this is not doing fast lap times, it's about doing long runs, ensuring reliability and making sure everything is working with the car. But to be that far off the pace, it is quite far, I would say. And the race said in one of their verdicts that in the hands of Lance Stroll and even Fernando Alonso, it looks the most difficult of all 11 cars on track. At its best, the AMR 26 is constrained and slow, and at its worst, it looks plain bad. No drivers seem to be consistently grappling with the same problems like the Aston Martin pair. The concentration of lockups and big lockups too into turn 10 was remarkable, even by the standards of this test, in which several drivers have been caught off by the off-camber left-hander. And asked by the race how much he thought Aston Martin could catch up by in the 3 weeks until the season opening Australian Grand Prix, Stroll said, "I don't know. I mean, right now, we look like we're 4 seconds off the top teams, 4.5 seconds. It's impossible to know what fuel loads and everything people are running. But yeah, now we need to try and find 4 seconds of performance, so we'll see." Now, as I said, this Aston Martin has been very anticipated because it's the first designed by Adrian Newey, and we know how much success he's had in Formula 1. But interestingly, it's been reported that there are whispers in the paddock that Newey has been too extreme with the AMR 26. Honda were given very little margin for error to accommodate his aggressive design. And Motorsport.com said regarding the power unit, modifications were also seen on the AMR 26 in terms of cooling, with additional vents opened after the engine issues were identified. Although it's true that the Japanese power unit currently appears behind schedule, it's also true that the AMR 26 features very extreme bodywork shapes, and realistically, the team needs to allow the Honda unit to breathe under the engine cover. The side pod housing and radiators were designed to be as slim as possible, and the airflow from the triangular shaped airbox is more limited compared to that adopted by other teams, with the bodywork along the engine cover shaped to be as tapered as possible. For this reason, a rather pronounced bulge can be seen, more evident than on rival cars, through which hot air is expelled. At the same time, one thing you've also got to note about Bahrain testing is that it looks like Aston Martin are running a similar work program to what they had in Barcelona, with Motorsport.com saying, "In Bahrain, the Silverstone team continued with a limited run program, with Stroll never exceeding 300 km an hour on the main straight. While maintaining a capped top speed allows for more linear data collection, it also reduces stresses on the power unit, which in that section remained below 11,000 RPM for a long time, while other teams pushed well beyond that." So overall, for sure, it does look like that Aston Martin do have a lot of work to do, but if they are running with a limited straight line speed, well then the team have a lot more time to find. They certainly aren't 4 or 5 seconds off the pace. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.